Portable, powerful and under the radar, the Tronsmart Fiitune X30 promises both sound, long battery life and even stereo pairing, but can it really compete with the big names? I've been blasting music through it all this week and here's what you need to know. So the first thing I love about the speaker is that it's super loud, coming in at 80 watts and it easily fills a small hall. And I also love that this has 6 driver setup and it comes with its own dedicated subwoofer driver at the bottom. And the spatial audio feature is also really good and gives you a very nice boost in the bass. And on top of that, vocals are clear and overall sound signature is also really good, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And you also get a very nice 14 hours of playback time with the battery. The build quality of this speaker is also really top notch. You get metal stuff all around. On top of that, this is also IPX6 water resistant rated. You also get multi-point connectivity as well as a TWS mode. So where I think could be improved is the chipset, whereby you still get a normal Bluetooth 5.3 chipset that supports the LDAC codec, but it would be great to see newer, more modern chipsets since we're now going upwards of Bluetooth 6. Also, the bass performance without spatial audio is also not that impressive, and although the build quality is good, the emblem at the front of the speaker here can be a little bit sharp and it might cut you or might cut your clothes. And the UI in the app could also be a little bit more polished. And this speaker comes in at a price of 799 Malaysian ringgit or about 180 US dollars, and I think it performs better than speakers that cost way more, and I think this is really worth your money. And if you find value in what you hear and like what you see, do subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so the YouTube algorithm can pick this up. And if you want to buy the speaker, do check out my links below. So with 80 watts of power, the Tronsmart Fiitune X30 is a loud and powerful speaker, giving you a whole room or hall coverage with power to spare. And the combination of many speakers gives you good coverage of all frequencies from deep bass to crispy highs. Very satisfying, but do take note that the speaker signature is very different when using it in spatial audio and no spatial audio, particularly with the bass performance. When you don't have spatial audio turned on, sub-bass performance is decent but not too deep. It's accurate, but they can go a lot deeper despite me tuning in an EQ to max out the bass. However, with spatial audio turned on, the bass performance, both sub-bass and mid-bass, gets a massive boost and it's like 200% deeper and stronger. And in my opinion, the ideal way to use a speaker is with spatial audio turned on, and that gives you the best sound signature. So when you're in spatial audio mode, vocals is a tad bit recessed. Partly it's also how I manually tune them. We slightly warm in the vocal signatures, but overall they are clear and distortion free. Highs here is bright and good, but when comparing this to the Edifier ES300, the highs generated on the Edifier is much brighter and sharper with very good resolution, and the highs on the Tronsmart, even when maxed out, seem a little warmer and lack that kind of sparkle and brightness. Overall, still a very beautiful sounding speaker, plus it's flexible that you can also tune the EQ to find something that suits your listening style.
I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm trying to make it better. But I'm only human. Some days it's hard to move on, so I keep fighting every day. I don't blame myself for my mistakes. I'm only human. Sweat.
X30 here comes with a very familiar design, and it does reminds me a lot of the Soundcore Motion X600, but with that aside, it's still a very beautiful speaker. The front and back of the speaker is covered in this fabric grille that is very basic, nothing special, and at the front here you also get the Tronsmart emblem that I mentioned is a little bit sharp on the edge, and at the back you also get the same fabric, and you also get a rubber flap that hides the USB Type-C port inside, as well as a 3.5mm auxiliary jack. The handles you get here is also metal, and at the top here there's touch capacity controls that lights up when you press them, but on the media control side there isn't any LEDs. In the middle, you're going to get this top firing speaker and also a gorgeous LED ring light. And on the side, you also get a small and nice Fiitune X30 branding there. And as mentioned, at the bottom of the speaker, you also get a rectangular subwoofer speaker, which is what generates the amazing bass performance. This is not just a passive radiator, but a full-on active speaker. So this speaker also comes with 6 drivers in total, so you get 2 tweeters at the top here, 2 mid-range drivers here, 1 subwoofer at the bottom, as well as a top firing speaker. So you get great volume on this speaker, and around 40% gets you to a comfortable listening volume for a more personal space, and moving upwards of 60% is loud enough to cover a large living room with no problem. And in my opinion, going upwards of that towards 80 to 90% volume, it's too loud for me to even test in my condo. So if that said, you're going to get good power from the volume here. The Tronsmart app is functional, but I feel that there is a lot of wasted space that could make the app a little bit more polished. At the homepage here, you're going to get to see your new speaker, the volume controls as well as the media controls, and you also get your battery percentage here. To control the equalizer, you need to go to the second tab, and from there you get 5 different presets to choose from, as well as a 5-band EQ to manually adjust to something that you might enjoy. And on the final page, you also get to toggle the spatial audio, the input sources, so you can also do stereo pairing, so you can pair 2 of these devices together, and also lighting effects where you get to choose from 3 different presets. Also at the homepage, press the setting button on the top right, and you can also update the firmware of your speaker. Latency on this speaker is very good, and playing games like PUBG is honestly not too bad, and you also see very minor latency when playing fast-paced games. I tried watching movies and videos on this using YouTube and Netflix, and it works fantastically with no noticeable delay. So as an entire package, I think this speaker is really good, sounds really powerful, and has a very beautiful design. But at this price point, I think there are several options you can choose from, so definitely do shop around. And if you want to check out Edify's ES300, which is around this price range as well, click on this video right over here. And if you want to also check out the Soundcore Motion X600 that I've mentioned earlier, click right over here, and I'll see you over at those videos.